Hello everyone, this is Dan. I hope you're doing well. And in this video, I want to talk about things on Android that people say can't be done, but that really can be done. Now, this is one thing that really annoys me because I see a lot on Central and Android Police. You get people saying, "Oh, that can't be done. Oh, why would you want to do that? Oh, you can't do that." Just because they don't understand that it actually can be done. So I'm gonna go through a couple things that I've been told can't be done on those forums that you actually can do. Now, I've never, ever found any useful information on Android Central. I've probably been there at least 30 times from my Google search, and I've never found one useful piece of information there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I would say is having two different versions of the same app installed. So you can see here that I have eBay, when I've named it eBay No Ads, and I also have the full version of the new eBay, which has all the new features here, but has advertisements in it and has a user interface I don't like. So I have both versions installed. Now there's three different ways to do this. So I'll go ahead and show you there's two different, you can use Lucky Patcher, or you can use APK Editor Pro, or just APK Editor, and you can clone an app by giving it a new package name. Now these two don't always work. The one that almost always works is a really, really good app. It's called App Cloner. So I'll go ahead and open it up and show you here. Add a bunch of extra features to your apps. You can add locks, passcodes. One thing I really like about App Cloner, which I thought was a really cool feature, is you can make the app say error when it's first opened, and then you have to double tap and type in a passcode. Now, I don't really have a use case for this. I just thought that was really interesting. You can add a really passable lock on any of your apps. That doesn't have to always be running in the background because it's modded into the app, so it won't slow down your phone, and it's still password protected. Because on Lollipop, there's a lot of apps that don't run that are from KitKat, which I find really annoying, but it is. So it's not too uncommon to see app fail to open. So yeah, that's one thing. You can clone apps. So you can see here I have the old version of YouTube, which I prefer to watch with, and then I use the other version to search with and manage my uploads. So you can see here this is a smaller thumbnail, so I prefer it. But since they're both YouTube apps, I cloned, this is why I have a pink icon here, or a purple icon, because I cloned it from the original icon. So now the next thing I've been told you can't do, which you can do, is having YouTube videos pop out in a YouTube player. So let me go ahead and show you this. Now this does require an exposed module, which you'll need the exposed framework, which that's a whole other topic. But yes, you can pop out videos. So let me go ahead and show you this here. So you just use now YouTube did take away this feature from apps that were actually on the store, but
Hi everyone, this is
again,
a really
you can still
quick
get
video.
this feature.
I just saw a news story about Bureau.
So here you see it'll load up here in a second here. And here we go. We have the video playing in pop-up, and I can go ahead and do what else I'm doing.
Hi everyone, this is a really quick video. I just saw a news story about Bureau of Customs making their CCTV cameras accessible to everyone. And you can...
So, again, and there are people that say, oh, you can't play YouTube videos pop-up, and the answer is, yes, you can. Now, another thing is keylogging. Now, there's a couple different keyloggers out there. They all pretty much suck, except for this one, and it's not really a keylogger. It logs keystrokes. It doesn't log passwords, and it doesn't always log stuff from the web. You type in, but let me go ahead and show you this here. So you can see here, there's an app called Type Machine, and it logs all your keystrokes. So you can see here that here I have my input, and if I want to go ahead and copy this, so let's say I type something and I accidentally close the app, so I can go ahead and add this to my clipboard here, and it's a keylogger. So it's not like a keylogger where you're hiding and you're collecting all someone else's keystrokes, but it's really useful to collect all your own keystrokes, and it is possible to extract the database if you're root, and then you can go ahead and, you can make a word cloud or whatever you want. And I can't do that. I don't know how to do it, but I know it can be done. So that's just another thing you can do. And then you can see what it does for each app here. So I'll go ahead and show you eBay. So you can see here that it's logged all my eBay text. So yeah, it's another thing you can do. So a lot of people will say, oh, keyloggers, none of them work, which I agree, half of them don't work. And you can't do it, but yes, you can. So on to the next thing. So another one people say can't be done is changing text in Android. So like, you can add an add-on that'll change text in your browser. So let's say you're browsing a new site and it comes up with something you don't like let's say Justin Bieber, and you can change it to that annoying singer. And sorry to bring up such a stupid reference, only thing I can think of. So a lot of people say, oh, you can't do that with Android. Well, not on a browser you can't. It can be done. I just haven't found the right add-on for Firefox. But you can do it globally with a exposed module that a guy in China has made. So you can see here that going on LiveLeak and WorldStar app that there's a lot of clickbait, so I've gone ahead and tried to filter the clickbait. So I did this when the Olympics were happening and everything was the Olympic spam, so I went ahead and gave myself warnings and changing the names of the Olympics and just general clickbait cleaning. So yes, you can change words, and it's really useful to give yourself an early warning system that you're about to be salvoed with a volley of brain-numbing crap. So that's one thing people say can't be done. So I'm running out of things that I've heard people say can't be done. So now I'll go ahead and just show you some cool stuff that I think is rare. One of this, when I installed my custom Jasmine ROM on my Note 3, it came with LMT, which is an app that's not on the Play Store. And it brings up a panel like this on the side, and you can see I've actually cloned the app twice, so I have 3 different panels, and you can add all sorts of custom actions and customizations. So I use this a lot of tasker automation. So let's say I want to remember the alphabet, I can just go over here, wrong one here. I can bring up custom menus too I've made. So let me bring it to my alphabet. And Tasker now, it should query Tasker to show a scene. And if Tasker ever loads up here, you'll see the alphabet pop up for a few seconds. Oh, and I remember one of the things, this is one of the things that really bothered me. People said, this can't be done. This is search anywhere. Now, a lot of times, especially when you have a lot of apps, like I have 700 apps, user apps, people will, I have 700 packages. A lot of those are system packages. You bring up a huge dialog scroll menu and you won't have any search button. And I really don't want to scroll through apps to find the one app I'm looking for. So there is a app. It only had 500 downloads when I downloaded it. It's maybe one of my favorite developers, where you can go ahead and scroll through any text. So let me go ahead and, excuse me, I'm trying to think of I'll just show you a Tasker here. Let me go ahead and open up Tasker. Bring up a new task here. Application. So you see, in order to get to the app I want to, I'd have to scroll through all of these apps with no search bar. But someone, like I said, has made an app for this, so let me go ahead and pull this up here. Search bar. And I'm going to search for YouTube. Here we go. And I'll go ahead and click search. And it will scroll for me. And I think it uses the accessibility plugin for like Tapatalk, where excuse me, not Tapatalk, TalkBack, where it can read the text. So if you have low vision, you can go ahead and put your finger over it and it will read off what it says on the screen. So this is reading the element names and scrolling down through the list. And it'll find the apps. So here, see, it's finding all these apps with the name of YouTube and stopping and highlighting them. So it requires you just mark the accessibility service, and it becomes really, really useful. I use this all the time. Yeah, and so that's one of the things I've read on those unnamed forums that they say, oh, you can't do it, it can't be done. It can be done, and this is how you can do it. The app is called Search Anywhere. And there you go. So you got me to all the YouTube and light it up. Okay, so back to what I was talking about, LMT. Now, LMT, it's not on the Play Store, and you can trigger all sorts of things with LMT. So here I have, let's say I am reading, and let me pull up something to read. I'll go back to Tasker here, and let me go back to the top. There's an app called One Click Scroll. It requires root, but it's really nice. You can see I did one button and it's going to scroll me all the way to the top. So I find that really useful and I use it all the time. I would say apps. So when I get to the top here, I can show you the LMT panel. So I can go ahead and open up the LMT panel, and here I have auto scrolling with Preppy Touch. So I can just go ahead and do a slow scroll. So let's say I'm reading an article. My repeating touch input will go ahead and start here, and I can just set my phone down and go ahead and read without having to touch my screen. I find this really useful. Again, I'm surprised it's not something that's more used in Android. I mean, the closest thing I've seen to this, I'm using Preppy Touch and Tasker. The closest thing I've seen to this is called like Scroller Browser. And it does the same thing, but it only works in browser. As you can see here, this works anywhere. So yeah, and you can trigger this LMT panel. And there's all sorts of other things you can trigger. See, I have my volume level here. So let me go ahead and show you my media volume. So my media volume is all the way at the top. I'm going to go ahead and drop that down to 3 or 0. Give about half a second for Tasker to catch. And let me go and show you button. My media volume is 0. Let me go ahead and bump it up to 9, I think. Or 15. Give about half a second for Tasker to catch. And here you can see my media volume is 15. So you can do all sorts of stuff with this. Trigger, arbitrary task or task. So here's my home. And let me go ahead and open this here. And set me home. Okay, so that simulated a home button press. So that's LMT. You can find it on XDA. Go ahead and type in the search if you're looking for it. Okay. On to the next thing. And if this video gets interest, I can add all these to the description. Just going to talk about something else. Let me think for a second. Now, I've talked about this in another video, but it's worth bringing up again. There's an app called MegaCast, and what it does is it converts the video on your phone so you can stream any file type to your TV, which is really nice with through Chromecast, because a lot of Chromecast, only accept like the MP4 and web movie formats, but with MegaCast, it goes ahead and converts it on the fly to MP4 or a file format that the Chromecast can read. So this does take a lot of CPU, but it does. So if you have videos that aren't in MP4, you can go ahead and convert them on the fly, and I find this to be really useful because a lot of times, right now I'm using. I think I'm going to learn and switch over to Kodi, but there's a lot to learn that I don't know about that and how to get all my files indexed and such. So right now I'm using Emby, but it doesn't always work. So this way, when I want to stream a video, I go ahead and load up MegaCast and go ahead and convert it on the fly. Yeah, so I'm going to wrap this video up soon. Let me just think about anything else I can think of real quick. Oh, this is pretty cool. Magnetic sensors. So, I wasn't aware that Android had magnetic sensors for probably about 2 years until after I had Android. And what you can do with this is Tasker has a variable that can read the magnetic field. So let's say you want to open up the magnetic here, and it'll read the magnetic field. So if I had a magnet, I would do it, and it would jump really high, and it could see the magnet. down. It has slight fluctuation, but it can go up to like 1,500, 12,000 if you put like a little neodymium magnet on it. So you can use this to trigger tasks. So let's say like you want to set it on a stand and have something happen. Well, you can use that magnet on the stand, and that'll trigger the task. Now, because I'm making these videos like real deal and actual use, not theoretically what could work, I've had a lot of trouble with this. It does work, but it's pretty unstable. So if it's just my phone, or the way Tasker works, or the way the magnet affects the magnet sensor, but it's been really unstable and hasn't really given me a practical use. But I just thought I'd mention that as I'm closing the video because I thought that was really useful. So this is episode 3 of Android Talk. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment below and I'll respond. Again, thanks for watching, and that's it. Thank you.